Hi, I'm Loide Nantinda, and I am so happy to be here with WIF Botswana to speak about funding for international trips 101, and what I could just share a few tips on what a filmmaker can do to raise some funds. So here we go. So, I went to Iceland earlier this year to attend the Feminist Film Festival, the Reykjavik Feminine Film Festival, and I was invited there simply because I had made some connections prior 2 years to that, where I had traveled to Iceland actually on research concerning the women on the project that I was doing, and ended up being very well received and getting to film with some very prominent key people in the women's rights movement that side. And so when I actually started to put my footage together and started to pitch and send to different festivals and people, just as I was in production and in preparation for the project, they were more than happy to invite me to be a part of their directors panel, I guess, and also to screen my documentary, which is still in actually production, and it was really well received. So raising funds already in any capacity is really hard, especially in the current economic situations that we find ourselves. It's even extremely hard for creatives, I believe, and especially creatives in an African sense, more so even in other countries where they don't even have funds or film commissions or anything of that sort. And all you have to do is use social media or whatnot, and there's just no ways until maybe you're able to monetize that. So one of the ways actually is obviously monetizing your content. If you are a filmmaker or some sort, you can perhaps go into content creation and focus on something that can bring you some cash with YouTube and all these other platforms that can then help you funnel money into the projects that you really want to do. It's otherwise really hard if you don't have anything to start off. I believe that one of the things that you can really start off with, because fundraising is a campaign and you need to see it as a really, as a big campaign. It's a fundraising campaign actually. That's how you should view it. That's how I view. So I would normally, you would want to go and maybe find like how does one go about making any campaign. You need media, you need noise, you need word of mouth, you need to put out posters, you need to make noise about the fact that you have intention to raise funds, and then do your research as to who are the key people that you need to approach. So I would say start with the fundraising campaign first and make sure that your campaign is very well put together, and then start from there if you don't have any funds yet, and just create awareness first and then move from there. The great thing about social impact films right now in our environment, in our global environment, is that they are at the forefront. We are at a point in humanity where there's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of social change. There's a lot of things and topics that are affecting us that people are very passionate about, and where humanity really wants to change the way we see certain things, and people want acceptance, they want tolerance, or at least their rights to be acknowledged and implemented in all aspects, from arts to culture to things like sexual orientation and all of that. So as those issues are raised, luckily in most social impact ideas or campaigns, you would actually find already either people at grassroots or already established organizations that are dealing with similar subjects, that are dealing with the work that you want to do. Even though it's not always exactly the same within your environment and what you're doing, there's always a root cause or a root idea that you can actually link to another organization. So what you want to do is reach out. You can go onto Google, you can go onto YouTube, find videos, find the emails and see what other people have already started. What kind of work are they doing when it comes to gender equality, for instance? What work is being done when it comes to women's rights? What countries or which organizations stand out for you? You can choose, let's say, maybe 5 to 10. do a little bit of study of them and see how can you approach them, because most of them actually, especially in the first world, would have funds, and they will be funded, yearly. They are in a budget somewhere, and they are more than happy to actually partner up with other similar organizations in other countries around the world as we become a global village, and really engage and support you in any way and show you like the way forward. So I would say do your research and reach out to other organizations that are already doing something similar, even if it's not the same, that can actually show you, or you can see like how were they funded, how did they start. Foreign markets really have a diversity and variety of festivals, from environmental to, again, certain rights to, indigenous people, to arts, to museums, like a whole lot of subjects. So again, you want to actually go, or the internet is your friend. You want to do your research, find the organizations, find the emails, and if you can even get the numbers and try and call and introduce yourself. Obviously, you want to have your package very much ready from your side, your proposal, your biography, or your profile of who you are, what you are looking for. If you have another great thing that is a great track record actually is your social media. So it's good to have a social media for your business or for your project, and you want to use your social media as kind of like a documenting of what you've been doing. So you want to put up pictures, you want to put up posts of the process and what you've been doing. And when you actually approach people overseas, or just there's just no time. People want to be able, they'll ask you, what did you have a link? Do you have a Facebook page? They want to go on there and see for themselves what you look like, how do you present yourself, what have you been doing. And in most cases, that is also really a big indicator and a big thumbs up to get you going and to even connect with more other people, because you're just able to follow and find other organizations, and you're able to directly message them or email them. Actually, you'll find them on social media. So social media is a very big part of it, and you want to make sure that you actually have presence as you go, because it just adds legitimacy to what you're doing as well. No matter how many few followers or many followers you have, your content brings you legitimacy. So that is one of the things that I've definitely done. As soon as I started with my campaigns started with a social media presence. Most outstanding challenges that one can face while going out for international trips is obviously how well funded or supported you are by your country, by where you're coming from, because obviously, let's be honest, as soon as you're outside your country and you are doing something that is international, automatically, whether your local bodies do not recognize you or do not know who you are yet, the fact that you've gone out and you're from Namibia, you're from Botswana, you're from South Africa, when you reach there, they see you as a body that is coming from South Africa, that is from Botswana, from Namibia, that is representing your country. One thing the one thing that I then realized is that one actually needs to make more noise about the importance of actually going out on any international trip and representing your country, and being able to go to the bodies like your tourism, maybe international relations, and even your local film commissions and whatnot, just to say, hi, I'm this person and I'm doing this and I've been recognized in this country, and then I'll be going clearly, as a Namibian delegate to this thing. What support can I receive from you? Again, that can be in endorsement letters, that can be in, again, just giving awareness sometimes, because sometimes I've realized that you can travel or go and go into a space and you actually have not informed the necessary bodies. So you also want to let your embassy know way ahead of time that, hi, your High Commission in Botswana, perhaps let's say you are going to Italy, you tell them, hi, this is who we are, we've been invited, we're coming on these dates, we're coming to do A, B, and C. We would like to engage with you, with your offices or our offices that side, if it's a possibility. There might be a crowd of young people in that country from Botswana that would really appreciate perhaps perhaps a luncheon or a engagement, of some sort, that that could be very fruitful, and also just to have that awareness again and protection and people knowing who you are. Awareness. The more partnerships that are lucrative that you can do, the better for you. But yes, again, the one challenge that is definitely out there for me, especially going to Iceland, was I realized that obviously I was the only African there. I was the only person of color, and basically everybody, the other countries were first world countries that were there, and they were supported by their embassies. Their embassies paid for their accommodation, for their flights. They had, they have policies in place or ways of to get this thing going. And I realized that there's a lot of work that we have to do when it comes to our side, and that starts with us as filmmakers, and then engaging with policymakers and really making a noise and comparing such experiences, and approaching our government to make sure that we are included in this stuff. I mean, this is not a lot of money. Even if it's like this, let's say 100,000 pula that is actually, just set aside for this kind of thing, when actually something lucrative, a filmmaker, a creative person is noticed overseas. Let's even say 500,000, 500,000 pula. 100 is very small. When there's a budget that is allocated for this, that when there's actually something that is lucrative, they are able to support their people to go, and there's a program and there's funds available, and it's legit, and you actually have to meet certain criteria where you really are recognized, and it's a formidable festival or museum or anything of that sort. I think when we start doing those campaigns and putting such ideas in place, it will really help the people that are going to be ahead of us, because I think it's just a matter of awareness and putting out the information. I am certainly available and eager, and definitely looking forward to engaging with more filmmakers and just organizations out there that are doing social impact projects and films. In any capacity that I can be of help. You can find me on social media, you can follow at Loide Invictus Media. We are on Instagram, and then I do have, as a personality, I do have a private page which is Loide Nantinda, under my name. And then you can contact us, loideinvictus@gmail.com. You can find everything on there on social media. Please do get in touch with us. And if anything else, also you can definitely get in touch with us through WIF Botswana. I would be more than happy to engage through that, and I'm looking forward to doing more engagements and bringing more people and chatting more with my Botswana counterparts, and really even bringing more organizations, especially in Southern Africa, in SADC, so we can start having seminars, so we can start having conferences, so we can start getting together, as a SADC thing, because there's so much of that when it comes to other industries, but when it comes to our industry, you hear somebody be like, I'm going to attend something in Botswana, it's a festival there, whatever, I'll go and attend a Joburg Film Festival, I'm going to attend a festival, a Kino Festival in Namibia. What about a SADC Film Festival? What about a Southern African art and cultural, kind of thing, where I think that is so much more powerful, and there can be so much more crossing of talent. And just if we look into our history, not to take long here, we are Bantu people. There's just so much richness, that there's so much that is untapped, that there's so much work that we can all tap into and really collaborate on things that are just magical. And that is something that I really look forward to. Thank you so much for having me again to WIF Botswana, and I'm looking forward to seeing your faces here in Namibia very, very soon, later on in this year, and let's get the work going.